All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shatia from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And this one comes out of Dublin, Ireland. Okay. And what you see here in this steel frame is a Congolese man who allegedly got caught shoplifting. And in this allegation and in this situation of so-called shoplifting, okay, as you can see, these Edomites have him on the ground, and this situation eventually led to him being put to death, George Floyd style. All right. So before I play this video, I like to say fair use, fair use. All right. Copyright disclaimer. I am in no way, shape, form, or fashion being paid or receiving any type of monetary compensation for this video. I am receiving no type of fame or notoriety. Okay. Fair use, fair use. I repeat, I am in no way, shape, or form being paid or receiving any type of monetary or financial compensation. This is strictly for entertainment and educational purposes only. So, with that being said, let's let this video play and get some scripture.
I couldn't sleep at night. I just read watching it time over time. I couldn't believe it. It's just like a nightmare. And I was trying to think, why this excessive force? Why?
The fact that even if he was shoplifting, it's a dreadful thing to happen. It is awful, and I think we are so really racist.
I saw colleagues doing that, and I'd advertise them.
Silence! No more violence! No more silence! No more!
You don't see this in Ireland.
Sorry for children.
You see this in sorts of American things like that.
We call this a George Floyd moment because it happened the same situation, same incident. Like, I can't believe it happened in America in 2020 and then happened in Ireland in 2026.
You look at that video, it literally is like a reenactment of what happened to Judge Floyd.
And then the behavior of a government minister from Israel has been absolutely shocking.
Irresponsibility. Take the anger from it.
There you have it. All right. A Congolese man is getting put to death by Edomites. Okay. For alleged shoplifting. Now, as you see in the video, many people are just like, wait a minute, this was a bit extreme. Even if the man was shoplifting, let's say it is true that he shoplifted, does it really need to resort in him being put to death? Did it really resort to some type of capital consequences? All right. You saw one of the older ladies in there. She's so stunned. She was like, this type of stuff, this isn't really Ireland. Ireland doesn't get down like this. All right. This is the type, basically said, this is the stuff that America is known for. Now, though that is very much true, I have to correct this lady. And the thing is, this type of stuff can and always will be present in any place in the world where you have Edomites, especially if they are in control, which they are, which means you will see this type of stuff everywhere in the world that Edomites are. Why? When we go to Job 9:24, we all know this by heart. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? You see, anywhere where Edomites are, they have control, which means they're going to pretty much do whatever the hell that they want to. All right. And because they still have that ancient hatred for you Jakes, all right, because a lot of people in the Congo are our people. All right. If you don't think so, I highly suggest that you read the book. I think it's called King Leopold's Ghost. I think that's the name of the book. Hold on. I'm not going to get too far off the subject, but I want to make sure I have this right. Yep, it is. It says King Leopold's Ghost by Adam Hochschild is a nonfiction book detailing the brutal exploitation of the Congo Free State by King Leopold II of Belgium from 1885 to 1908, resulting in the deaths of millions through forced labor for rubber and ivory extraction, while simultaneously exposing the heroic efforts of activists who fought to bring the atrocities to light. The book chronicles the greed, terror, and the first major human rights movement of the 20th century, highlighting the cunning of Leopold and the courage of those who exposed his regime. And you better believe they are definitely behind the assassination of Patrice Lumumba. But yeah, I wanted to get that just so you know that a lot of our people are in the Congo. A lot of Congolese are our people. Okay. And this still goes to show that these devils still have that ancient hatred for you Jakes out there. When you go into Genesis, the 27th chapter, it lets you know how this guy felt, how this guy Esau feels about you Jakes. Genesis 27 and 41. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. All right. When you go into the other scripture, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Ezekiel 35 and 5. I'm going to start up so you know who it's talking about. I'm going to start at the top. Ezekiel 35 and 1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. All right. Who are the nation of people that dwelt in Mount Seir? The Edomites. Edom. All right. It says, and say unto it, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Let's get that word perpetual. I forgot the Hebrew word, but I do know what perpetual means. But we're going to get it in the blue letter. Just so we can all be on the same accord and for edification's sake. At 5:35. Perpetual. I will I will I will well, I will I believe, and it says long duration, antiquity, futurity, forever, ever, everlasting, evermore, perpetual, old, ancient world, ancient time, long time, forever, always, continuous existence, perpetual, everlasting, indefinite or unending future eternity. So when it says, when we read this, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, it's saying that this is a old ancient hatred from the past that will continue forever and ever and ever without ceasing, without even the slightest break. All right. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual, an unending ancient hatred that's going to go on forever and never end without a break, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Right. That ancient hatred is now, and it shows up in Esau's descendants just like this. Just like this. So it doesn't matter if it's in America, it doesn't matter if it's in Ireland, it doesn't matter if it's in Australia or any other countries where Edomites are. All right. The mere fact that Edom is there, incidences like these have the potential to happen. And I saw a few other videos outside of this one. And of course, everybody brings up the obvious statement. Okay.
Okay, homeschool room.
What the hell just happened? Let me put it on pause, get it back to that. All right. I don't know what happened, the phone tweaking, but nonetheless, I saw a few more videos dealing with this situation. As I said before, I had to put the video on pause. All of them presented the same idea. They said, now we all know that if this was an Edomite shoplifting, this would have never happened. I saw one video that she was this possibly Edomite looking chick, you know. I mean, she is from Ireland, so you know how that situation goes if you know the history of Ireland. But at least by appearance, she looks like an Edomite. But she said in all her 36 years of living in Ireland, she has never heard of a Edomite person being put to death for shoplifting. She said, never. She's like, never have I seen it. Never have I heard of it. And this situation is so shocking that, as you can see, folks are having a hard time adjusting to it because they're like, this is not how we get down in Ireland. As the woman said, this is shit you see in America. Americans are usually prone to this type of violence. But as I said before, I got to correct the lady. Wherever Edom is, there is the potential of this type of violence. And see, this is why the world is coming against Esau Edom. All right. In particular, the ones in America, but the whole world is coming against Esau Edom. Because the Lord has a huge, how do you say, vendetta against them. All right. As we continue, if we continue to read in this Ezekiel 35, which I'll do, I'll start at 5 where I left off. Ezekiel 35 and 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the hour of power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Seeing thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, in thy hills and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee a perpetual. Sorry about that. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. And see, this is why a heavy recompense is coming back to Esau Edom, because of what you've seen in this video and many other incidences that are George Floyd like incidences. All right, a great judgment is coming upon you Edomites, because you have recklessly and relentlessly persecuted the apple of the Lord's eye. And as the scripture tells us, a debt has to be paid. When you shed a man's blood by man's, let me just get it instead of trying to quote it. Genesis 9 and 6. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for in the image of the Most High made he man. This is why you Edomites have a huge price to pay. As I said earlier, you have recklessly and relentlessly shed the blood of the children of Israel, who are the apple of the Lord's eyes, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. A heavy debt must be paid. Because you all didn't have to double down, but you did. And you kept doubling down and doubling down and doubling down ever since you got into power from the Renaissance. You think the Lord is just going to sit by and just let you keep doubling down and hurting his people? No. Okay? Even the Lord is going to avenge the blood of even the wicked of our people. Because you had no reason, no purpose to put your hands on us the way that you did. And as you continue to do so today with that perpetual hatred. Now, I've been to Ireland before, and I have to say that it is a great country. I mean, I know why. First and foremost, we built it. And as I said before, if you know the history of Ireland, you know that a lot of them are our people. But, that's the topic for another time, you know. So I do get why many people there are just like, I can't believe this is happening, but it did. And you better believe the Lord has these guys in his eyesight. All right. Just like he has the whole nation of Edom. So that's all I want to say on this. I hope you all were edified. To the next time, we're going to say Shalom.